Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue and white, officially weighing in at 10 stone, 13 pounds, 8 ounces. As a professional, 25 victories, including 14 wins by knockout against 2 defeats. And in the super welterweight division, he's undefeated as a professional with a record of 23-0, 14 KOs, 9 knockouts coming in 4 rounds or less. From Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, he's the WBA Oceania Super Welterweight Champion, Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa. And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red with white, officially weighing in at 10 stone, 10 pounds, 2 ounces. His professional record, 37 victories, 26 big wins by knockout with 2 defeats. He's the current WBC Silver Super Welterweight Champion and the fighting pride of Sheffield, Yorkshire, England, the former welterweight champion of the world, the special one, Kell.
Right, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good, clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times, all right? Touch close.
He's been happy, smiling, and excitable all week here. Kell Brook, once again, headlines in Sheffield, eager to make more noise in the super welterweight division, scaling 10-10 yesterday. Perhaps still the ferociously competitive welterweight mix as well. Spence, Porter, Hurd, Charlo, Thurman, Pacquiao, Broner, Amir Khan, so much ahead. But boxing's unpredictable. And first, Brook must take care of Michael Zerafa. What of the Australian who's got his own hopes and dreams? Strong. He's been busy, but he's not proven at Brook's level. Can he shake up the plans tonight? He has been in with Peter Quillen and he gave it a real go up at middleweight, but he was stopped. And Brook is a very fast starter. Good uppercut in the first round.
Well, straight away for me, Zerafa's just looking a bit slow. His punches don't seem to have that snap in them that he's going to need against somebody that's sharp and a good counterpuncher like Kell Brook.
He's already marked up under the right eye as well, Zerafa. Maybe from the first hook from Brook.
Brook seems to be finding a home for his punches quite effortlessly this early on, and that's dangerous because we know the talent and speed that Kell Brook, the counter-punching that he's capable of. So to have this kind of success this early on doesn't look good for Zerafa.
Almost looks like he's toying with Zerafa already, and a right hand from Brook. Desperate to impress. Under new man John Fuchs, all the training in Fuerteventura, and blood from the nose of Zerafa and the uppercut, and it's all a bit too much. Body shot as well. Zerafa needs some success from somewhere.
Yeah, Zerafa needs to just back up, get behind that jab and keep out of Kell Brook's way. He's landing at will here, and he's looking quite powerful and strong here. I know he's not quite the 154 weight. He's coming low, well, underneath that weight division, maybe to make a statement that he can still do welterweight, but looking too strong here for Zerafa early on.
Zerafa looked down at the red corner as well, as if to say, what on earth's happening here? There's a shock on his face, the power of Brook at this weight. Body shot from Zerafa. But the jab and the uppercut from Kell Brook, who looks razor sharp.
And he's taking his time as well, Kell Brook. He's had a lot of success and he's not rushing it, which is good to see. It's only round one of a long contest, a 12-round contest. He's got nothing to really prove here, but I suppose he will want to send a statement over. He'd been waiting for the Kell Brook fight, for the Amir Khan fight, and it's disappointing, and he's going to have to keep his mind off that and just focus on this fight here against Zerafa.
A good jab to finish a very impressive opener from Kell Brook. There's Dominic Ingle, who's been with Kell for 32 of his 39 fights. Dave Colwell just behind us was with Kell for the other 7. And the third trainer now is this man, John Fuchs. And we remember him, good fighter himself, and actually shared an amateur ring 3 times with Kell and got a win over him too.
That's amazing how boxing, you know, transforms from the professional ranks to the amateurs, well, from the amateurs to the pros. Just seen some clips here of Zerafa on his back foot as Kell Brook attacks him. Just falling in a little bit clundered there, Kell Brook. But I've been impressed that he's not been too eager, because sometimes when he lands early on and he gets success, he goes immediately for the finish. But he's just taking his time, just sucking in the air there in the corner and realising he's still got a job to do.
Round 2.
The red and white of Kell Brook and the orange boots and the white and blue of the man that calls himself Pretty Boy from Melbourne, Australia, Michael Zerafa, in fight number 28. Both times he's travelled to Russia and the States, he's been beaten, but he's never been beaten at super welterweight. Tough first round for him though, as Brook got back down to business like he did against Sergei Radchenko in March. It's been a while out of the ring. It's been a very average year by his standards, Kell Brook, but recovering from the eye problems and the defeats to Golovkin and Errol Spence. How he'd love a rematch with Spence.
Yeah, what a great fight that was. I mean, Kell Brook really didn't do it himself. He did himself proud in that fight. Came off unstuck, fractured the cheekbone, the other cheekbone following on from the Triple G fight. Going to Golovkin with the same injury but on the other eye. Just trying to work out Kell Brook here and how he looks. I'm trying to judge him moving forward. And I don't know, has he got that snap? Is he just waiting? Is he just taking his time? I don't want to be critical at this stage. I mean, it's only round 2 early on, but Zerafa's not really giving us much to judge him by, to be honest.
Let's use the left hand from Brook. It's the jab from Zerafa, who has got some reach. Brook unfazed though.
Yeah, let's not forget Kell Brook's coming a little bit light, maybe to try and make a statement and say he can make 147, which was what Khan was demanding. And so he's been given a bit of weight away in here to Zerafa. And Zerafa does look slightly bigger, a bit taller, a little bit more reach.
That's better from Zerafa with a combination. Yep, has fought up at middleweight.
He's not got a bad jab. The jab's quite sharp and snappy. He's got through that first round. It was a bad round for Zerafa, but he just seems to be settling down a little bit here and having a look at Kell Brook.
Yep, Brook just sticking behind the jab, waiting for another opening, and Zerafa trying to get his own punches back. Attempting to settle, needs to have some success. Chops a right hand over. Better from Zerafa here in the second round.
Yeah, good bit of success there from Zerafa, just doubling up with the jab and then landing a right hand. Kell Brook shouldn't really be sitting there for them. You get the feeling that Kell Brook should be able to step on the gas and do some kind of, you know, inflict some kind of damage or force, some kind of pace to put Zerafa in real trouble, but he doesn't seem to be opting to do that, whether that's his game plan or whether he's just fighting to the best of his abilities. But I just feel after that first round, Kell Brook could have stepped on this and maybe got it out there. Maybe he wants a few rounds in.
Trying the uppercut as well. And a left hook as well from Brook. Better end to the round, but Zerafa was okay.
Your left hook is working lovely, right? So you jab, come off it. Jab, come off it, left hook. Yeah? Good lad. Sharp with your head movement. One little thing is, you let him get a little bit too much confidence then, right? So still think about what you're doing, but put him in his fucking place, right? A bit of time with that, you give him a little bit too much confidence, right? And he starts trying to come back into it. Corners, 10 seconds.
Textbook left straight right, and then a not so textbook left uppercut, but Zerafa answering there with a left hook himself, responding.
Super first round, slightly sleepier second round from Kell Brook. Michael Zerafa just troubling him with a couple of combinations. Power-wise, he's got 14 knockouts, the Australian, on his slate. Full of confidence all week. Says there are holes in Brook that he will exploit and punish him. Remember, Kell 32 now. Good shot there.
Yeah, good shot from Zerafa there as Kell Brook stepped forward. It's important that Brook does not let Zerafa get confident and get into a rhythm, because he's got a bit of height, reach and weight advantage, which I talked about earlier. But if he starts to fancy this, don't forget he's had 27 fights, he's only been beaten twice. So he'll be confident that he can actually stay in this and make a name for himself. So Kell Brook needs to get down to business. I mean, after such a great start, I expect him to just keep that momentum going and to send a statement out to all the other fighters in this division. He really needs to be getting the job done.
Plenty of early knockouts on the record. Kell Brook, 4 in the first round, 5 in the second, and 5 in this. Many felt this would be another one.
This is good work from Kell, cutting the ring off, just backing up his man Zerafa. Nice right hand lead, good quality. That's the quality and the accuracy from Kell Brook that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, good work from Brook, and now he starts to inject some pace as well. Almost like a slight slumber at times, Brook, but he's woken up again.
Yeah, just having a look at Zerafa maybe earlier, not wanting to rush anything. I mean, he's in no rush anyway. I don't want to be too critical, but he's putting shots together now, looking strong, and he's finding shots home quite accurately. Good defence there from Brook, good movement.
Zerafa tries to come back with his own work, but his face is really being marked up now. The nose bleeding, the bruises coming. And he wants that uppercut, Brook, doesn't he? The right hand, the chopping shot as well. Back comes Zerafa.
Yeah,
good
Brook,
action here in the third.
Yeah, Brook looking for some power punches now, looking at setting his feet, both feet firmly fixed on the ground, anchored to the ground as he's looking to land them hurtful punches. We've seen it with Kell Brook. If he wants to jab and move and use his skills, he's got to be careful as he backs up Zerafa, because Zerafa's looking for that right hand counter. He's getting through, he's landing a left hook, a lead right hand. Kell Brook really doesn't want to be on the end of anything.
Yeah, punches from Zerafa, especially with that right hand. Maybe not as powerful as Brook's, but is that the leaky defense that Zerafa was talking about at the press conference?
You're leaving your head there and you're getting caught with that shot. That's all I want you to do, right? I want you to show it to his body. Keep showing it, because when you're showing it, he's coming down here, right? Jab, jab, show it, boom, right hand over the top. When that lands, you finish on a left hook, and then you move your head from there, right? I want you to pressure him. I want you to make him work, because he don't want to be in there, right? When you make him work, he don't want to be in there. But I need you to be clever when you do it for me. So you get that right hand tucked here. When you've landed a shot, you roll, and you land another shot. When you land another shot, you roll. If you're in close, shove your head on his chest, right? Up you get. You know when you're going to let him go in close now, let him go on in, right? Up, boom.
John Fireball Fuchs running the corner for the first time. Mixed bag so far from his man Kell Brook. At times, great work. At others, careless, sloppy, being hit by Michael Zerafa. And if this is an audition for some of those big names we were reeling off earlier, and they're not going to be terribly worried so far.
Well, that's it. You've got to look at him and judge him on the quality of the opposition in front of him, and you have to, you know, imagine Kell Brook in with the likes of Hurd or Lara or Charlo, and you know, them guys aren't going to sit there and just take these shots that are coming at him. They're not coming out sharp from Kell Brook. He's not firing really sharp and injecting much pace into these attacks. He's having success because of the limitations of Zerafa. But, you know, I need to see more from Kell Brook to say that he's firmly going to make a statement up at super welterweight.
Zerafa just going about his work, good body shot, and one to the head too. After that awful first round, Zerafa is doing much better in there, and he wants to take the fight to Brook.
But Brook landed a nice right-hand left hook there, and Zerafa just responded with his own two-punch combination. He's on his back foot here, tucking up nicely behind that tight guard as Kell Brook backs him up. But I kind of feel he fancies this, Zerafa, but we'll see as this unfolds. But he's definitely in there. Kell Brook's winning everything for me, but he's not having it all his own way.
And the right hand from Brook. Tries the body shot as well. Zerafa attempting to use his strength. Bit of a forlorn look on the face of Zerafa, but he's had that since the opening bell.
He has, yeah. It looks like he's not really enjoying it. It looks like it's hard for him, and he's struggling. His face is red and he's bleeding, and he's breathing quite heavy. But he has been like that since the first bell, so I'm not going to judge him too much on that, because he still seems to be up for this contest.
But he's rusty, Brook, because of the lack of action he's had in 2018.
Yeah, I think that's what we might be seeing here, a bit of ring rust, just taking his time and getting caught with silly counters like that one there from Zerafa.
Lovely right hand from Zerafa. Bounced off the chin of Kell Brook.
But it's them kind of shots that will give him confidence and let him try other shots, like that uppercut he had to go out there. He's on his back foot, but he is looking for the counter punch. We don't often see Kell Brook walk into counter punches. It's a little bit concerning, and it should be concerning for his cornerman moving forward, that, you know, he's just walking forward and not really got much respect for what's coming back. Is that because he doesn't respect his opponent, or is that because he can't see the shots coming? He's 32 years old. He's had a lot of hard fights, had a tough career, a couple of bad losses. It's Triple G and Spencer. What has that taken out of Kell Brook? We have to look at what he's got left in the tank at this late stage, this second coming in of his career.
That is a tough kick.
Of Kell Brook, and that's what he tries at the beginning of the fifth round. And with Michael Zerafa, who started boxing when he was 10, had about 20 amateur fights at middleweight. Fought Peter Quillen at middleweight. This is the round that he came undone, but it shows that he can compete at a higher class and category. And Kell Brook right in the middle of these welterweight and super welterweight divisions. And of course, the one under pressure to perform, the one expected to win, expected to go into the big fights, might have been annoyed about the talk of Amir Khan, and then Khan possibly going the Terence Crawford route, and that might have upset the last couple of weeks, possibly mentally for Brook too.
Most definitely, and it is very annoying. I mean, that's when you've got your heart set on something, you think you've got a big fight coming ahead, and the Khan-Brook fight is a very big fight, so he's had to sort of readjust his mindset and just come into this fight with only his opponent in mind, and it's hard to do, it really is. And you mentioned Zerafa in the likes of Peter Quillen, a big puncher. I did a lot of rounds of sparring with him. I know he's a middleweight, but he's a big middleweight and he can punch very hard. He punches like a super middle. So if Zerafa has been in with people like Peter Quillen and he's able to, you know, sustain that kind of punishment, what was it, 5-6 rounds he lasted, it's tough to go that kind of distance with somebody who punches so hard. So he'll be used to the punching power, and maybe Kell Brook's not bothering him too much in the power department. And that lead right hand there from Zerafa is quality, and Kell Brook needs to move his head.
Quick, big right hand from Zerafa, causing Brook problems. The Sheffield man getting back behind his jab. That's when he looks authoritative and cool, but he's been wild and woolly and open at other times. And Zerafa's right, maybe there is more defensive problems for Brook at this stage of his career. As you said, 32. Are we judging him on where he is now, where he was? You know, he's a different fighter.
Well, we've seen how great Kell Brook can be. We've seen his sharp reflexes and counter punches, them accurate, awkward shots he lands time and time again. And what I'm seeing now with Kell Brook is he's kind of walking forward with zero respect for his opponent. And, you know, he's walking into a couple of clumsy-looking shots from Zerafa, and it's not really acceptable to be getting hit with them shots.
That was a nice punch by Brook. But back comes Zerafa. Plenty of bottle and heart. Amir Khan, when he was talking really positively about fighting Kell Brook, and they met at the Tony Bellew-Usyk fight, was saying you've just got to get through this one. Maybe this is giving him some confidence, Khan.
Well, that was a really good shot there from Kell Brook. Left up, right hand, landed down the pipe, and Zerafa just responded immediately with a good combination of his own.
Right, big deep breath, suck it up, right? Sometimes you fall in a little.
See, there's that right hand there as Brook backs up Zerafa. He's looking sloppy at times and looking too easy to hit for me at this level. I don't want to take anything away from Zerafa, but you've got to judge Kell Brook on world title fights, which is where he wants to be. And Zerafa able to land this kind of accurate right hands as Brook just stands there looking at him. It's not good enough, really.
From all the talk and the long training camp for this man,
In and out, keep sticking that jab.
out in the Canary Islands, I felt that Brook might be sharper tonight and back to his real best, but I agree with you, Carl. I think he has been sloppy. Is that father time? Is that ring rust? That right hand, Zerafa fancying it.
Yeah, well, the more success he has, the more he will fancy this. And don't get me wrong, Kell Brook, you know, on my card, he's winning everything. He's winning every round. There's a couple of close rounds in there, but he's getting the win, but it's the manner in which he's doing it against a level of opposition.
Who gave Zerafa a chance before this, apart from his real inner team? Nobody.
And that's how we've got to judge Kell Brook, on the fact that nobody's given him a chance. So we're expecting Kell Brook to go in here and just wipe him out. But Zerafa, he's given us a fight. He really is giving us a contest.
He really is. Michael Zerafa, excellent effort when he looked like he could fall apart early in those first 3 or 4 minutes of this final eliminator, remember, for the WBA title up at super welterweight. Jarrett Hurd, the champion, who of course defended last week.
Kell Brook just thrown the jab to the body of Zerafa there. As he came forward, he kind of squinted and looked at the floor and kind of closed his eyes as if he wasn't confident coming forward. And you don't see that in young fighters that are confident in their ability. And Kell Brook, you know, used to be one of them. And I just feel that as he puts his foot on the gas and throws his attacks, he's kind of worried about what's coming back.
Just falling in, Brook, but then Zerafa does the same thing.
It's certainly not a sharp, solid performance from Kell Brook. Well, from either man in there this evening, but I was expecting a sharp, solid performance from Kell Brook. I think everybody was, because he looked so good on the scales, and he's been talking, he's been saying all the right things. But to come in here tonight and look a bit sluggish and a bit sloppy, and to be taking right hand clean on the chin, I'm kind of concerned.
Yeah, chopping right hand there from Brook. He's trying to battle his way through now. That's a good shot. And Zerafa had to take that. Best punch for a while from Kell Brook in the 6th round.
Yeah, it was a good spell from Kell Brook, landing a couple of clean right hands and then getting off to the side and throwing a couple of left hooks. But again, not following up with anything to make the ref have a look, because this is what we want to see. We want to see the ref jump in because Kell Brook's, you know, swarming all over Zerafa, or we want to see a knockout because we want Kell Brook to step up to that next level and challenge for these world titles.
Yeah, but this is also an opportunity for Michael Zerafa here big team with him. Family supporting him in Melbourne. He's giving it a right go. But Brook's power and strength won him that.
Thinking about what you're doing. Yeah, he's tough as all, right? You're not going to get him out of here in 1-0.
So you're giving him every round, but you're not giving him a good mark out of 10.
Well, this is it. I mean, I might sound like I'm being too hard on Brook, but I'm judging him on his next fight or his ambitious, you know, speech on the way on the lead up to this fight. He's got great ambitions to step up to world level and win another world title. Win a world title at super welterweight. And I'm not seeing anything here this evening that's probably going to send out a message to any of them fighters. But we mentioned earlier, he's had a bit of time out of the ring. There's a bit of ring rust. You know, his mindset's probably not right with what's happening with Amir Khan, so
well, there's a number of things, aren't there? Hasn't fought since March. The Amir Khan situation. John Fuchs, the new trainer, not got Dominic in there tonight. You've given him everything, 60-54. Doesn't really tell the story at all.
No, there's a couple of close rounds in there, but I couldn't give Zerafa enough quality-landed punches to score him the round. Kell Brooks, he's winning everything. And maybe I'm being a bit too hard on him because there's a bit of ring rust. He's taking his time. Maybe this is his plan, to just take his time and systematically, you know, break down Zerafa and then give us a spectacular finish.
Seems a long time ago that he went out to America and beat Sean Porter. That fantastic victory to win the world title. Remember, he has been stopped twice by Golovkin and Spence. Really trying to force through the punches, those uppercuts, against the slightly taller man in Zerafa. Despite the bloody nose, Carl has really just got on with the job, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, Zerafa's kept himself believing that he's still in this fight and he's firing back. There's not much coming back from him, really. Not much for Kell Brook to worry about as Brook backs him up. You see moments of sharpness from Brook and moments of the old Kell Brook where he slips and slides and lands counter punches, but there's too much sitting back, waiting, and too much being on the end of short amounts of work from Zerafa. He's not bringing much to the table, Zerafa. He's still having success, like that right hand there, which, you know, that was a hurtful looking punch, and he's able to land that again as Kell Brook just stands there looking at him with no real intention of moving that head.
Yeah, the upper body movement from Brook. The punches there, accurate. It's almost like he has to force through tonight, Brook. And Zerafa, when he's landing his right hand, is there, but here comes Brook with some pressure. Can he sustain it?
Well, that's a bit of the old spite from Kell Brook, combination. You know, he put together some nice, accurate-looking shots there. Let's see if he can sustain this.
Always been a good finisher. A predator, Kell Brook. Mike Alexander splits them up, but this is the best patch. Back comes Zerafa with a combination. Needed that, needed some success. Good round.
He did, yeah. The referee will be taking a close look when he's being caught with big shots, and, you know, just to answer him back there will be enough to keep him in the fight.
He can hit Brook, can he hurt him? And again, the Australians cheer in the corner. Brook trying to push Zerafa back.
Well, Brook's backing him up now, Zerafa, and he's trying to make a dent on there, maybe trying to go for the stoppage. So the intention is definitely there.
And really physical as well, isn't it? Dominic Ingle, what will he be thinking?
Well, Dominic Ingle, I mean, he's probably not confident in Kell Brook moving forward. You know, we don't always know what the full story is on why they parted company and why he decided not to work with him. But Dominic Ingle, I don't know, he might be quite satisfied with the decision to not be working with Kell Brook, because, you know, he's been in the sport many years. He's worked with lots of world champions, and he knows the game inside out. So it's hard to put words into Dominic Ingle's mouth, but I'm not sure how impressed he'll be from Kell Brook. But let's not be too hard on him. He's still winning this fight, still winning every round. He's in against the guy who's heavier than him, coming in with a bit of ambition.
When you get close...
And we are only halfway through.
Yeah, Kell Brook is winning this by a fair margin, no doubt, against Michael Zerafa. But he's been forcing it at times. Zerafa's caught him way too much tonight. Is he trying too hard to make that impression, Brook?
I don't think he's trying too hard, no, because he's not sort of forcing the pace and missing with wild swings and falling over his feet. He's kind of sitting back. To me, he's a little bit too laid back and too relaxed. He needs to kind of get his head moving, get sharp, get on his toes, double up with a jab and look for counter punches. He's kind of happy to just walk forward and plod through this. Good right hand from Brook, and we see Zerafa's able to take that kind of power.
Yeah, plod's a good word. That's what he has been doing at times, Brook. And then he finds the combinations, definitely the more controlled punches, that jab and the uppercut and the right hand, whereas Zerafa's got the right, but not a lot else. Plenty of heart, though, and grit, and still believing.
That's right, he's staying in this fight, he believes in himself, and he's still firing back at times.
There's the light tap on the feet that John Fuchs was calling for. Zerafa, heavy-legged. Was the Commonwealth champion, Michael Zerafa. Gave that up, vacated, has won a couple of other minor baubles. And a right hand there, another reminder to Brook. And again.
Good counter right hands. This is sloppy from Kell Brook, just leaning in, allowing Zerafa to just tee off and land that right hand flush. You can't get away with that at world level. This is not acceptable at world level.
We saw Amir Khan struggle, didn't we, against Samuel Vargas a few weeks ago. And people wondered how much was left for Khan. Are we starting to ask the same questions for Brook?
Well, the thing is, a couple of bad losses in your career where you've been damaged or you've been knocked out bad, and you know, Amir Khan and Kell Brook have both seen, you know, losses on their careers like that, and that's why people, you know, it's an exciting fight. That's why we want that fight to happen so badly now, because the longer these two fight on and the more we see them in grueling, punishing fights like this, the less we're going to believe that that's going to be a good fight. So Eddie Hearn, speaking to him earlier, said the Khan fight is now or never, and you know, when you watch Kell Brook and Amir Khan both perform, you kind of agree with what he's saying.
Let's find out how Johnny's seeing things. He's known interesting thoughts. It's an average performance really on the high level that Kell Brook sets himself and has performed over the years. 37 wins, this fight number 40, and he's fought at much higher level than Michael Zerafa. Zerafa still there into the 9th round. You didn't think that, did you, beforehand?
Well, from round one, we thought that Zerafa was not going to see that round out, maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and then that'd have been the end of him, because, you know, he was under the cosh early on, and then all of a sudden he finds himself landing shots on Kell Brook, starts to believe, and Kell's not able to sustain any kind of attack or injection of pace. it's like a sprinter sprinting 100 metres. You've got to be able to sprint that 100 metres, then get back behind your jab, suck up the air, then sprint again, and then you'll force a stoppage.
Zerafa just targeting the body there for the first time really on Brook. That's what Errol Spence did so successfully at Bramall Lane in that great fight. That, remember, when Brook was down at welterweight after the foray, the real big risk up against Gennady Golovkin. Better from Brook there with a combination. Again, hunting Zerafa down. But it's that sustaining, isn't it?
Yeah, he's getting through with a couple of double jabs, and then he's able to land 2-3 punch combinations, but he's not able to land 5 or 6 punches, get off to the side, and then come in from another angle and land another 5 or 6. And that's a bad shot to be taken.
Oh, big shots here from Zerafa in the 9th round, and Kell Brook has to take them. He has to ship them. And worrying signs there for the Sheffield man, and Zerafa will be buoyed by that.
Well, he's showing the top men at this level, at world-class level, that he can be hit and he can be caught. And you know, he's sending out a bad message if he's going to be trying to threaten any of the current world champions at this weight.
He's trained long and hard for this, Michael Zerafa. And that is showing, digging deep and having much more success than many felt he would. Again, he hits him with the right hand. How many times has Kell Brook been hit tonight in comparison to most of his other fights?
Well, it's just a really sloppy performance defensively. Well, I mean, his attacks look okay at times. He lands nice little combinations, but he's in against a quite limited Zerafa. But his defense is terrible. He's on his back foot, he's looking sloppy, he's got no head movement, and he's wide open with his chin in the air, and he's getting caught flush with shots. And that is not acceptable at world level, it really isn't.
He did have that tough one a few years ago against Carson Jones, remember, where he was really asked questions, and people were wondering about his dedication, his training. But he said it's gone absolutely perfectly this time.
He's got one shot, and that's the right hand. So what I want to get that further up, right? Big deep breath, up. All the way up, all the way up. The only time you are getting caught is when you get sloppy, right? That's the only fucking time, right? So when you're getting sloppy.
Excuse the language in the corner, John Fuchs. What will he be thinking? This is the first time he's done this with Kell.
Well, he'll be worried. Well, he should be worried that Kell Brook's taking too many flush right hands. We see him here taking a bit of a sloppy left hook, and there's the right hand. He just saw it and sort of got away with that. He leaned away from the punch, which takes the sting out of the punch. But real bad neck-jarring shots that catch the judge's eyes. And at a higher level, they're hurtful shots, and that could be the end of the fight.
9 minutes left, final eliminated WBA 11 stone title, the red and white, the Christmas colours really of Kell Brook, and the orange boots and the blood-stained white and blue of this brave Michael Zerafa, who's asked a few questions tonight, a mixture of I guess what he's done well and sticking in, also what Kell Brook's done badly.
Well, I think the last thing Team Brook would have wanted tonight would have been to come here and have a sloppy slugfest, which is what this is turning into late on, because Kell Brook's getting the better of it, but he's taking too many shots in reply to his work. And this could end up turning into a bit of a sloppy slugfest as this draws. If this goes 12 rounds...
You've still got Brook in a very handy lead.
Well, he's landing shots that, you know, score points. So he's winning the rounds. I mean, I've got Zerafa maybe sharing around and winning a round, but that's it. So Kell Brook nearly winning everything against, you know, let's be honest, a quite limited and tired-looking Zerafa. Kell Brook really needed to step on this and get him out of there. Whichever way you look at this, and I don't want to be too critical on Kell Brook, but whichever way you look at it, if you're trying to send a message out to the world beaters in this division, the super welterweight division, he's just not done that this evening with this performance. Hopefully this is a ring rust and he's shaking it off, and he can put this fight behind him and come back and show everybody the business that he's been talking about moving forward. But on this performance, we have to have our concerns moving forward.
On this performance, have we seen the best of Kell Brook? as in years gone by.
I feel that his best years are behind him based on this performance, yes, I have to say that.
But sometimes there are struggles, and the W is all important. He's certainly on course for that, but I wonder what the birthday boy's thinking. Amir Khan, tempted by the Terence Crawford fight we're hearing in the spring. Will this change his mind again?
He might start fancying it all of a sudden now after seeing Kell Brook, you know, underperforming, looking a bit sloppy. He might fancy the job, because let's be honest, Amir Khan doesn't fancy the Kell Brook fight. It's as simple as that.
The crowd trying to rally behind their man. Brook, who again is wild. Desperately wants to finish things here. But Zerafa standing firm and still throwing out that right hand. Numerous times it's caught Kell Brook with his own left low.
Well, I can see a lot of big openings that Kell Brook's creating. He's a master at creating openings, but he's not able to slam that door shut and land that counter punch, that accurate response which he's usually got. And he's on the end of awkward looking combination from Zerafa here as well.
This way he really began to struggle against the brilliance of Errol Spence. But Michael Zerafa walking slowly back to his corner. He'll be feeling the pace now.
All the way up, all the way out. All the way up, all the way out. Right, listen, you're 10 rounds up, right? So you don't need to take that risk. All he's looking for, get a drink, is when you throw a lazy jab, right? When you throw a lazy jab, it's coming over that right hand. So, fake it, boom, he'll come over, then you let your shot go, right? So, boom, he'll come over, you come over your left hook. Where's all his feet? In and out, right, listen.
10 rounds up, thinks John Fuchs. He's surely way ahead on the Italian, Denmark and British judges' cards. But we're measuring him, aren't we, tonight? And that's what everyone will be doing.
That's right. I mean, we want to now see Kell Brook close the show in his last 6 minutes. Round 11 into round 12. He's got 6 minutes to close the show and finish strong. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that can happen. So what I would like to see is Kell Brook get behind his jab, do a bit of boxing, bit of moving, not get hit with any shots. Just don't take punishment. And I'll be happy with that, because they can then tell us why he's had a bit of a sloppy performance, why he's not feeling so good. There'll be a reason for this, and hopefully that will be revealed in the interview, but he needs to not force anything now.
And what will Zerafa do? He's surely got to go for Brook here. He'll never have the opportunity like this, away from home, when Brook's been under par. He's got to go for it, hasn't he, the Australian here?
Well, you'd think so, yeah. This is why I'd like Brook to just box, use his ring craft and his experience and his natural ability to just jab and move and keep out of the way, keep out of harm's way, don't take anything silly, and just put this fight behind him, because trying to land big, wild left hooks like that, he's going to leave himself open. He's going to look terrible doing it.
Very surprising performances from Kell Brook, but then, you know, champions at a top level, you can have bad nights, can't you? It's about getting through them.
Exactly, yeah. Let's not totally and completely write off Kell Brook and say that's it, he's finished. Because a lot of people will be doing that tonight. You know, the boxing fans, the boxing purists will be looking at Kell Brook and judging him on past performances, on his sharp counter-punching self, his natural ability and his flair. He's got flat feet, he's got a slow counter-punch, he's not moving his head, he's getting hit far too much, he's looking sloppy and sluggish, he's looking damaged, and he's in against an average opponent in Zerafa. With the best possible respect for Zerafa, let's not forget he's only lost 2 fights, he's mixed in with good level as well, decent level, but this is well below par performance for Kell Brook if he's got any chance of fighting for a world title and making an impression at super welterweight.
Yeah, the openness to the right hand has been a real problem for Brook tonight. Hurling out a body shot. He looked so poised in that first round, but since then it's just seemed a struggle. He's winning it. Winning these rounds. Can he find something late on here, Brook, to leave us talking about a knockout win rather than a sloppy struggle, boxing through treacle at times, legs heavy. He's not going to be happy, is he, Kell, at all after this?
He's not, no. And you're right, if he could pull out a knockout of the bag here and, you know, finish solid, you kind of put the sloppiness behind you. But judging on this now, I'd like to just see Kell Brook jab and move and get himself through this fight and come again another day.
He's got 1 round to go. Big suck it up. He's going to come and have a right fucking gun now, right? You're 11 rounds up. So, I don't want you standing with him. I don't want you taking no risk. I don't care if you want to get him out of here. Nah, you've won the round. You've won the fight now. Don't let him into it. Don't let him have hold down. So, keep him up. Keep him in the ring. Keep him in. Don't leave with hooks or uppercuts now. 12th round. All straight. Boom, 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 boom. All straight, baby, right? Unless he's here, then he can fetch you up. If you start leading with hooks and uppercuts and stuff like that now, you're going to get caught. Right, listen. You have been brilliant for 11 rounds. I won it. 12th round of a masterclass. Right, go on, try.
Has he boxed brilliant for 11 rounds? That's debatable, but surely he has just to guide his way home. What do you thoughts at ringside? Maybe there's a problem with his right cheek. Remember the orbital damage with the eyes. He's surely way ahead on the card. 7 on Carl's unofficial one, 109, 102. So it's nothing silly, says John Fuchs, and says you, Carl.
Yeah, well, I think he wants to just see Kell Brook get through this now. I think he just said boxing masterclass is what he's asked for in this last round. What he means by that is hit your opponent and don't get hit back. Zerafa making a bit of a deal of that there. Kell Brook just pushing him away and he kind of went down and the referee having none of that.
Defending there, Zerafa. Will that just buoy Brook on for an electric finish here? And Zerafa comes right back at Brook, and Brook hasn't listened to John Fuchs. He's listening to the crowd. And there's the bravado and the pride from Brook. Zerafa says, come on then.
Well, Kell Brook had to go there and landed a couple of nice looking shots, and Zerafa, as you say, come on then, let's have a go. And he answered back and landed some good quality looking punches which drew a smile from Kell Brook, which basically tells you, you caught me there, and that kind of hurt. I mean, Kell Brook does not want to get into a dogfight now this late stage of this fight, because he's got it in the bag, he's won on points, it's been a sloppy night, but let's finish by boxing and moving, using the jab. Nothing silly now.
Zerafa trying to close it out and backing Brook up, really for the first time in the fight. Backpedaling now, Kell Brook, with that smile. He knows he's a long way in front, and he'll get the win if he stays on his feet. Just over a minute to go. And you know, 2 wins after the defeats to Golovkin and Spence. They look good on the record books, maybe for his confidence. But, you know, Kell Brook's a boxing historian. He knows this isn't a good performance.
Yeah, well, the fans know what they're seeing, and, you know, more importantly than that, the top fighters in the division will know what they're seeing as well. And if he is to drop down, back down to welterweight, 147 pound, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, they're not going to be worried about this kind of performance. And to the same note, if he stays up at super welterweight, the likes of Jarrett Hurd and, you know, Lara and Charlo and all that big names in the division, they're just not going to be concerned about this. Kell Brook really needed to electrify us tonight and put on a massive performance and get people wiring him. But, you know, people aren't going to say wow. They're going to say, what happened there? What's wrong with Brook?
Well done to Michael Zerafa, taking Kell Brook 12 rounds. Few thought that was possible. He's put a good show on, the Australian. Kell Brook's won this well. He doesn't look happy though, and I wonder what he'll say afterwards. Flat at times, not the dynamic, electric Kell Brook many people in Sheffield are used to, and there is, well, a real flatness in the air. Eddie Hearn's shaking his head. That'll do you more good than anything, says John Fuchs. He looks a bit lost, Kell Brook, as if to say, what really happened there? Sleepwalking at times, just flat? Will he question himself at what's left? Did he overtrain? Was it the ring rust? Was it the weight? He looks perplexed.
Yeah, he looks in fantastic shape, and you know, you can't judge a book by its cover. His body looks real trim and sharp, and he said all the right things.
Got to ask the question, Carl, has he just got old? Is his father time at 32? You know, is he just not what he was?
Well, the thing is, a couple of bad defeats, and we've seen it over the years with top fighters. I mean, I see it with Shane Mosley and Miguel Cotto, who finished his career great, but when he's at his best and his sharp best, these top fighters, when they come back after a bad loss, you see that there's something missing. It's that sharpness, that's the ability to sustain the attack, the accuracy, and Kell Brook seems to have lost his zest this evening.
Do you remember when Nassim Hamid came back a year after the Barrera defeat, and he boxed Manuel Calvo, and he won every round, but he just didn't look himself, did he? The rhythm, the speed had gone, and he knew after that there was no more. But Kell Brook wants more. There's plenty ahead for him still in terms of the fights that could be made, and everybody wants to see the Khan one. And maybe after two sort of average performances, Khan against Vargas and Brook tonight against Zerafa, that will be made.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, that could inspire that to happen.
Johnny Nelson and Dominic Ingle probably thinking, what really happened there? And I know Johnny was critical, said he got hit far too much. Dominic not in the corner, can't really criticise John Fuchs, who got him through it, no problem at all, but he just doesn't really understand what went wrong there, Kell. I think Michael's ready with the scores, and I'm sure it will be wide, and he'll get the victory. Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. The winner will be the mandatory challenger for the WBA World Championship. Stefano Carrozza scores at 118 to 110. Jan Christensen scores at 119 to 109. And Steve Gray has it, 117 to 111. All three scores to the winner by unanimous decision. The Fighting Pride of Sheffield, Yorkshire, England. The special one, Kell Brook.
Victory number 38 in a career that goes back to 2004. And he salutes his fans. But is he back? Big question mark. John Fuchs happy. What will Kell Brook say afterwards? What will Eddie Hearn think? What happens next? He sort of shrugs his shoulders, got through it. Got to give Michael Zerafa credit. But all eyes are on what Kell Brook produced and what he can produce going forwards.
Well, it's going to be very interesting to hear what Kell Brook has to say, because if the camp went as well as he said in the build-up, and he was feeling as good as he said he was feeling, that kind of performance, a lackluster, sloppy performance, which we spoke about during the fight. Eddie Hearn just pocking his head down there, saying Amir Khan might fancy it now, and he just might do. But let's hear what Kell Brook's got to say.
A bit rusty, but it looks good for them opponents what are running away from me. They might grow a pair now and think, oh, I can take care of him. So
every cloud, I suppose. You set very high standards for yourself. Did that fall below those tonight?
100%, but listen, it's the best training camp I've ever had. I was very happy all the way through. We were doing unbelievable things in training. You know, tonight, I don't know if I was trying too much, I expect too much, and I just were a bit flat tonight. It was just one of them, you know, normally I'm sharp and everything else. Everything's there what I want to do. But I was a bit like a Klitschko tonight. I couldn't let that right angle, I couldn't get into my rhythm. But we all know that I've got it in my arsenal to be special.
Let's have a quick word with Eddie Hearn about the future. Eddie, Kell just said the opponents might fancy it now. Is that realistic?
Well, I think if I was Amir Khan now, I'd be on the phone to take this fight. Kell knows that was below par. He's had a long time out of the ring. But, you know, every time they fight, one becomes the favourite and then one becomes the underdog. After Khan boxed Vargas, Kell will become a favourite. If you check with the bookmakers tonight, Khan will become a favourite. So, look, he's going to make his own decisions. We can't just wait on that. He's got a future. That was a big win tonight. He's now mandatory to Jarrett Hurd if he wants to stay at 154 pounds. he knows he's got to be a lot better than that, and he will be. He will be. It was the first fight under John Fuchs. You know, there was a lot of expectation tonight. It looked like he might get him out in the first round. I've seen social media, oh, Kell Brook may be finished. That's the end of Kell Brook. Well, hopefully some people think that way, because if that's the case, then we'll be getting a big fight very, very soon.
So it was just an off night rather than the fact it's gone, it's not there anymore?
Absolutely not. Listen, me and Fireball doing unbelievable things. I've learned a lot in this training camp, and if you would have seen me in training, I've been exceptional, you know. But like, I don't know. You can take the good and the bad with this fight, but listen, we'll come again. I've got the win. At the end of the day, I've got the W, and we all know that I can be special. You know, we're going to go back to the drawing board and just polish up where we left off.
Let's bring John Fuchs in now. John, the first fight for you two together, your assessment of Kell's performance?
Yeah, listen, I think people have big expectations of Kell, and he's got big expectations of himself, and all sorts of people thinking he's going to get him out here, he's going to do that. For me, he boxed well, right? He come through 12 rounds, what he hadn't done in a long time, right? And the things we were working on worked, right? He'll admit he wasn't 100% at his best, but for me, he boxed really well. And I think you should get your chin up, pal, and not be worried about it, because for me, he boxed really well and he did good.
If there is any criticism, though, is it that he got hit too much tonight? Got hit more than we're used to seeing you getting hit?
Yeah, for me, the reason he got hit too much is because they were trying too hard. That's all. Listen, fighters do that. When you've got all this expectation on the shoulders, you might try a little bit too hard. That's what he did wrong tonight. Tried a bit too hard, but that's not such a bad thing, is it, sometimes?
What about the future? Who do you want to fight? Who do you think you're going to fight?
Listen, I've got the buzz again. I'm reborn. I'm absolutely loving boxing again. 2019, you know, listen, I'm be back. I'm be phoning him up. I'm be back in the gym Monday. I'm back on the road. I'm back training. I'm not letting my weight go mad. I'm going back to welterweight or light middleweight. Listen, I'm gaining one chance. Listen, I will go to welterweight. I'll do the rehydration. Listen, we'll do the deal in front of the TV live. It's not my fault the fight's not happening. It's that pussy boy there, Khan. He don't want the fight. Listen, I want the fight. I want to shut him up and I'll move on. For Porter, Spence will want the big fight. I want the big boys.
So is it now or never? If he takes the Terence Crawford fight, is it never?
It's now or never. Listen, now or never. He's got one last fight with Eddie, and I believe. You know, listen, it was supposed to be me and him now, the big one, and he's running off again. Listen, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm fit, I'm back in the gym, I'm hungry, I'm reborn, I'm ready to take the world on.
Okay, let's have a quick word with Michael Zerafa. There was some colourful language in there, so apologies for anyone at home that was offended. Michael, outside of your inner team, I mean this with absolutely no disrespect, a lot of people thought you would come here and you wouldn't go the distance. You haven't been victorious, but you have gone the distance. Is that a moral victory for yourself?
Yeah, look, firstly I want to just thank everyone who came out and supported me. Also Eddie Hearn, who gave me the opportunity. Kell Brook, absolute legend, mate. You know, he's a champion in and out the ring. You know, I've been following his career since I was a little kid, so it was an absolute honour to fight him and his team. You know, like I said, to go 12 rounds with one of the best in the world, not many do it. So I take it on the chin. It was a win for us and the team, and we're going to be back bigger and stronger.
Thanks for waiting around and speaking to us. Best of luck, all. Safe journey home.